We'll start. Thankfully, we did not get that on the recording. Welcome, everybody. My
Birds.
name is Mina Jane, and I'm the director of the Ashland Public Library. And I am here with my friend Jody Blanchette, also known as Red Reviews. And we have been chatting about horror books for a long time, and we tend to giggle a lot. So just know that that's going to happen. So, really, before we get started, I just want to say thanks to the Friends of the Ashland Public Library for supporting all of our programs. They are awesome. And I'd like to thank Jody for letting us share this program with other libraries, because, of course, when libraries work together, we make magic. And, if you've been here before, Jody's going to recommend a bunch of books. We'll talk about them. If you have questions, feel free to put those in the chat or in the Q&A. And if you would like to put in the chat books you've been reading and enjoying lately, please do so. And I will send out a list to everybody afterwards of Jody's recommendations as well as yours. So, Jody, welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, you really
Um,
started
so
this
I,
with a bang.
what was that?
You really started this one with a bang. I appreciate that.
Well, the F word is pretty much just like my whole vocabulary. I'm surprised I didn't name my kids that. So wouldn't that be great? Oh my God, can you imagine?
That's right.
I want to start off with a while ago, I had talked to you about a book that I read that was uh, based with elderly characters that were, remember that? I think it was called
Hmm.
the Sundowners something. What is it? The Sundowners Dance. And I thought that was really great that they were making the elderly a main character in a horror book. And I'm like, no one's really done that. Well, since reading that book, I seem to be seeking these kind of things out. I have recently read a book called Too Old for This. I do not have it, so you need to put up a little picture. Too
Okay.
Old for This by Samantha Downing. And that one is about an elderly serial killer. It's a woman who's a serial killer, and she's like the sweetest little old lady. She goes to bingo with her friends. She has tea. She welcomes people into her house and like gives them cookies.
Oh my
She
God.
really is the nicest. No, she is like the honestly hardcore. Like even though she kills people, she really is the nicest lady. Like you will fall in love with her. I think you could read this book and you would be totally fine with it. I pitched it to my book club because it's hilarious. She literally she's getting old. Her back hurts. Picking up dead bodies is not what it used to be. She likes to chop the bodies up to dispose of them because she doesn't want to get caught. She's been doing this for like 60 years. So, she like my favorite part is she's chopping up this body and it's not super gory. She's just chopping it up. And she's wrapping it in parchment paper or butcher wrap to put in the freezer, but she's labeling it so that if her house did get searched, um, people would like overlook it, like it says chicken cutlets or lamb chop, when it's literally all the same dude. It just blows my mind. I think it's hilarious. And she's got a lot of wit and comments, and pretty much the whole book is her trying not to get caught. So she's this documentary maker shows up on her doorstep and says they want to do a thing about how she was accused of being a killer back in her 20s, but she was let off. She wasn't ever really convicted of it. And so it was about her being free and being mislabeled. And she really did do all of the killings. And so now that she's back in the limelight, she's just killing everybody that's trying to bring attention to what she has done. But she doesn't want to. She wants to be done. She wants to be retired. She just doesn't want to get caught. So she just like, and now with technology and your phone, it's becoming a problem, and she's making all these mess ups, and she just is absolutely hilarious. It's like anything that could go wrong for her is going wrong. But she's got her head up and she's just working hard trying to figure it out, even though she's got her cane and she's got backaches, and she needs to sleep an extra hour because putting a car in a trunk isn't what it used to be. It's absolutely hilarious, and I think it makes it's perfect for readers of my age and above. My book club at the library is predominantly elderly women, and I have pitched this book to them because I think they will get a kick out of it. They will find the humor in all of her aches and pains and her menopausal issues, and just loved it. Absolutely loved it. I believe I gave this book 5 stars. It was hilarious. Like if you don't laugh at some of the moments, I'm one of those people. Like I saw Weapons in the theater 2 weeks ago, and there were 3 or 4 parts where I laughed out loud, and I was the only one laughing in the theater, which, of course, my daughter thought that was hilarious, so she was laughing. So there are some sick things that make me laugh, and this book has a lot of those moments.
Oh, I'll have
Sticking,
to check it out.
moving on,
Oh, no, no,
but
no, wait,
sticking with
wait,
this thing.
wait, wait.
Ah!
I have to tell you, I have that exact same sweater. That's why I kept the picture up for so long, is I have that same sweater.
Can you recreate this photo? No, you have black hair though. You need to put a wig
Oh,
on.
I, I could let it just go gray.
People are going crazy with this cover on Instagram. I'm telling you, everybody is trying to recreate this photo. It's hilarious. I did not go that route. I did not recreate. I did a backdrop picture of, because she serves tea in this beautiful china. And I'm like, and then like, she's just like the sweet old lady. So I did that as my backdrop. It was like, just tea. It's time for tea with a little old lady. Just great book.
I love it. I'm gonna look that one up. You all know
I
that
think you will like it.
I'm a Halloween weenie or horror weenie, but I am going to try this. Also, I forgot to tell you, we forgot to say that Spooktastic is this Saturday. I will see you
This
there.
Saturday, yeah, and I will be there. And show of hands of who's going to be there in the comments. Come talk to me. Let's talk books. I can show you who to talk to at the fair, because like there's a lot of really great authors that are going to be there. One of the top tier is, I believe, Paul Tremblay is going to be there.
Mhm.
If you go for any reason, just go for that, because he himself is just the most sweetest man. I think he's doing a couple panels. He like get something signed, have him sign your shoes. He's just like, he's such a nice dude. I'm reading currently, reading his middle grade book called Another, and I'm only halfway through it. It's middle grade, but it's pretty freaking scary,
Mhm.
which just thrills me that he's bringing that back. He's getting the younger readers, and he's gonna take them all the way through, like R.L. Stein did. We're gonna start them off young and keep them going through. I have so much respect for that. So yes, Spooktastic this weekend. It's going to be awesome. I will be there with bells on. Find me. So, keeping with the elderly theme, because apparently, I do books like this back to back. This one is not coming out. Well, maybe it came out today, maybe next week. This is the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. What a title! It's a mouthful. It's by Philip Fracassi. I love Philip Fracassi. Everything that I've read by him has been amazing. So his last big seller book was Boys in the Valley, and in that book, he pretty much kills off a whole orphanage of boys. And it's depressing, but there's demonic possession, and it's bloody, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. This one is he's killed off a whole bunch of old people. It's a retirement home. You've got some people that need extra help. You have people that are self-sufficient, and this one cluster of people are getting slowly picked off, and strange if someone gets stabbed, someone gets over medicated. There's a whole bunch of strange methods of picking the people off. But in the middle of it all is this woman named Rose, and she becomes like the super sleuth, trying to figure out who is killing off all of her friends. And she's got like a group of like 3 or 4. I called them a Scooby-Doo gang, because that's really all that I kept thinking was like, they're gonna figure this out. They're gonna get those crazy kids. But they're all elderly, and they're all on medications, and I had the hardest thing. Like, why would you want to kill off these people? I had such a hard time with that. When you get to the ending, it all makes sense, and it's quite crazy and terrifying. But it's really well written, and I think he writes horror, but this book I think is more of like a thriller horror. Maybe mystery, because it just has you're really trying to figure out page after page who is the killer, and there are several suspects, and you never know who's going to die next. It's just it was a fun book. And I love the fact that it was elderly main characters. Didn't like the fact that it was the old people getting killed off, but I totally get it. It really is a great setting. Like he nailed this one, because I don't think I've ever read another book where the retirement home's getting killed off. Who does
Okay,
that?
so I know you want to rush through to the next book, but I have to ask about this. About you know, sometimes kids get killed off, sometimes pets get killed off, sometimes it's teenagers, whatever, and now it's the seniors. So what?
No one's safe.
No one's safe, right? But which one bothers you the most?
I don't like children getting. I'll read about it. I'll watch it in movies, clearly, because I watch Weapons. I don't like children getting killed or violated. Um, I think that maybe animals too. I have such a hard time with animals getting messed up. Maybe I have a heart. I don't know where that came from. I've been trying to hide it. I've been trying to flaunt this black heart that doesn't really like feel anything. But like, I don't like seeing children. I don't like seeing dogs. Elderly people, unless they're bad elder, like unless it's like a creepy old man that's like totally like pulling in the kids from next door and keeping them in his basement, like he can totally die and I'll be fine with it. But like your grandma that's serving you tea, she doesn't need to die for no reason. Like that was just wrong.
Hmm.
So there are boundaries I have for who I think it's okay to kill and not kill.
Okay, so teens to like
Teens
seniors.
are just kill them
Okay.
all. Teens are. I have teens. Man, that's the only. I'm living vicariously through these books. Just slasher the crap out of all the teens. It's amazing. They're the ones that are having the sex. They're the ones doing all the bad things. They're getting it done within like a good 10-year span. That means they're not safe. Wipe them all out. And then in their 20s, if they're stupid, I guess you can continue wiping them out. But in their 30s and 40s, maybe chill and let us like live.
Okay. All right. Well, in the audience, let us know if there's any particular book that is a or kind of book that would horror book that would is a no go for you. Okay.
Everybody's going to say animals. Everybody's going to say don't kill the dogs. I'm telling you. Did you know there's a new there's a horror movie that was coming out my daughter was telling me about from a dog's perspective.
Hmm.
I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Good Boy. Good
Oh,
Boy.
okay.
Um so she wants to go see this and I'm like, "No. I don't do I'm like if the dog gets killed I don't want to watch it." So she googled it and it turned out to be for that weekend that the movie was the previews came out. The biggest Google for that weekend was does the dog die in Good Boy? Because nobody wants to see it if the dog's gonna die. So I might actually see it, but I cry. I can't. Benji, Marley, and me. I get all hot and messy. It's not. It's not good. Don't touch the dogs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Judith agrees. Dogs and children off limit.
Yeah, dogs more so than children because I have some nasty children in my neighborhood. I wouldn't mind seeing get picked up. So I'm about to show
I'm
you
glad I don't live in her
a book
neighborhood.
by a book by one of my favorite female writers. This I think is probably the scariest book I've read in a long time. And it is the first book to give me nightmares. I
Whoa.
don't get nightmares from books, Mina. And I
Wow.
made a point of saying that when I reviewed this book on my Insta. I don't get nightmares from books. I can usually just close the book at 1 o'clock in the morning and go to bed and not think about this. This one bothered me. It bothered me so much that when I finished it, and I read it in one sitting. When I finished it, I actually DM'd Mother Horror, Sadie Hartman, and I said, because I got the book from her, and I said, I need to talk about this book for a few minutes and like kind of need you to hold my hand. Can we talk through it? And she talked through it with me, and she felt the exact same way about the book as me. So if it unsettles the Queen of Horror and it made me feel all that, it's really freaking scary. So the book is called The Unseen by Anya Alborn. So she's best known for her book, Brother, The Neighbor. She's got a whole bunch of really great creepy horror books. This one, she's dealt with cults, she's dealt with ghosts. This one deals with the subject matter of feral children. So you've got the main character, Isla, who has had, believe she has 5 kids, but in between having her 5 kids, she has several miscarriages. And as of like a year ago, she had miscarried pretty much her last child. And this one affected her the most because she just, she wants to keep having children and it just bothers her that she's can't have any more. So she's out, she's in her garden doing her thing, trying to put her sorrows into the earth and rehabilitate herself. And this child walks out of the woods in this like tattered clothing and he's awkward. Like his legs are too big for him and his arms are too long and his face is he's got really weird eyes. But she's like, this is a sign. This child. I need to help this child. This is my reason for miscarriaging because I need to be this child's parent. So anyways, they go and they adopt this kid and he's brought into the family and he's just not right. He's nonverbal, pretty much non-communicative, doesn't really even eat, just a strange kid. And Anya is really focusing on the feral aspect of this child, which scares the crap out of me. Like there's more to the story that I can't tell you the real twist of the story that really scared me. But the feral aspect, she nails it. This kid is downright freaking creepy. No one wants to be alone with him. When they're alone with him, bad things happen. It's just supernaturally and very, very strange. So the cool thing about the book is it's told from the perspective of all of the children in the family who have their own experiences with the child and the father, and I believe Isla has a couple chapters. So it's kind of cool because you're getting a full circle experience of how he is affecting the whole entire family, and how the mother just stops mothering everybody else because she's so solely focused on this one child, because she just it's going to be the fixer, this is going to be the handler of her grief. So there's a about three-quarters of the way through, there's a it hits the fan. It gets really crazy in the house. Bad things just escalate. People are missing, and the twist happens. And I can't tell you what the twist is, because this is the part that scares the crap out of me, because I've had problems with this kind of stuff since I was a kid watching it in movies. Can't tell you what it is. I really can't tell you what it is, but I want to tell you what it is because it's so freaking scary. And then it gets so bad, and it's like, you've got these shadows in the corner that are around the kid all the time. So what are these shadows? Shadows scare the crap out of me. I wake up in the middle of the night and there's shadows in my bedroom, and I'm like frozen in bed thinking there's someone in my bedroom. So that freaked me out. I ended up having nightmares about the shadows and about what happens, and it was horrible. And then I woke up in the morning and I realized that the book was that good that it screwed me up in my dreams. If that's not a selling point.
That's a total selling point. Um, but but you've never had a nightmare after reading a horror book.
I have not. I can usually, like, there are movies that have given me nightmares, and
Mhm.
one of the movies that I watched when I was a child um, is a lot like what happens in this book, and that movie gave me nightmares. So I had talked to Sadie about the connection between that movie that I had watched, and she had the same response to that movie as well. Can't tell you because it's going to tell you what the twist is, but the subject matter, it gives me nightmares. And like, I've read, God, Carrie, Salem's Lot is pretty screwed up. I've read some scary, scary books, and I don't take it home. This book really got into me and dug into me deep. And I made my library order it because I was telling book club I finally found a book that gave me nightmares, and they were like, "Oh, thank God you're human." So we ordered it because I want them to read it, but I know they're all afraid to read it. So we'll see.
Mm. So is it more psychological or is it gory?
Not gory. It's
Not okay.
psychological, but it's like, I really want to tell you what the twist is so
No,
badly.
no,
I
no,
can't
no.
though. But
Mm-mm.
when you read this book, anybody that is actually going to read this book, when you get to the twist, you're going to be like, "Holy crap!" And then it just escalates and gets bad, and it's just like, I don't. The ending was horrible. It fit the book. I'm like, "Oh my god, great book,
Okay,
freaking
everybody,
great
we
book."
have to read that. Well, I can't read it because
You can't read it. No,
no,
me neither.
I can't even read like the light stuff you recommend.
No,
But
we're gonna have to hospitalize you if you read it.
that we don't want that.
Therapy all around.
But I can't. I'm gonna say other people should read it that love horror because Jody really can take a lot.
I
So
can't.
check it out.
You can dismember the crap out of anything, and I'm fine. My
Except
God.
the dog. Except the
Except
dog.
dogs. Don't touch the damn dogs. God.
Okay, what's next?
So
Please tell me
speaking
something
of
a little bit
dismembering,
lighter.
good, good. Well, this isn't any later.
Okay.
I could go to I do have one that's sort of light. It's all heavy books this month. I've been on a roll. Okay, so Sam Rabelin is the author of a book called Edenville, and then a book called, oh, I can't think of the name. It was a book of short stories. So he has built this world, starting off with Edenville, and though you don't have to read the books in order, they do kind of connect. Um, I didn't realize he was building this universe. I read the first book. I didn't read the second book, but I did get my hands on this third book called Galloway's Gospel. Look at that. You see the cover? Look at,
Yeah.
isn't that creepy as hell?
Oh,
It's like
very.
1980s vibe. I love that.
Yeah.
So this is in the same universe as Edenville. There's a the highlight of my life. There's a map so that you can see where everybody is, which I absolutely love. This is about a town that has been, there was a tunnel that connected the town to the rest of the world, and the tunnel collapsed in like 2009, and the town has been kind of secluded from everybody else since 2009. The story jumps from 2009 to 2019, and the main book is about 2009, where a girl named Rachel Galloway is doodling in class, and they're talking about, it's history class, and the teacher's talking about Roanoke,
Mhm.
civilizations that kind of just disappeared or failed, and he wants them to write a report on, you know, something similar, and she's just doodling, not really paying attention, but she's creating this civilization in her notebook with her doodles. She's got these, she's, oh my god, it's so brilliant. It really is brilliant. She's drawing pictures of these pigs, these little demon pigs, that if you offer a limb to these pigs, they will eat it, and that means you're good. And they poop out your limb, and it will grow something for the community. It'll grow a bush of raspberries or something. So the town could eventually, this town could be self-sustaining as long as you're giving a little bit of yourself to the pigs. And then she's got these things, these bat things that will eat the bad people in town, or the naysayers who don't really believe in this whole hubbub. So this is just what she's writing in her notebook. It becomes real. The book essentially comes to life. I'm not going to tell you how. And everybody's sort of following her. She's like, she wrote this story. She's the creator, and they all think that she knows what's going to happen next. And they're following her. And it sort of becomes a very occultish like takeover, whether, people in the sound, either you're with her or you're against her. And if you're against her, you're probably going to die. So you might as well be with her. And it becomes this whole big ordeal. So this is 2009. Flash to 2019. This is 10 years after that has happened. The town that didn't get invaded or cursed is trying to find out what happened to that town. So they're sending investigators over. And this woman goes through, and because there's a small opening in the tunnel, and she gets through, and she's seeing this firsthand, how the town is self-sufficient and involved. There's no electricity, but everybody in town is missing an arm or a leg or a pinky, or they have chunks of flesh eaten out of them because they've all sacrificed to help make their community grow. I do think that aspect of the story is very cool. That was very cool. But the creator of the story is gone. Where is she? She's disappeared. And that the reason why she disappeared happens in 2009, and you will read about that. It's there's so much that happens. It's so hard to explain. And I was talking to him about it this morning after reading the book. He built this world, and you get sucked into this. It's so cool. And there's all these little Easter eggs from his past books in this book, connecting everybody. And it's just like there's layers in the story. It's about, forced religion, or it's cults and community. And there's a witch in the woods. And it's just so cool. It's a story within a story, and the story comes to life. Like, who writes that? He literally is like, he's the writer making the story come to life. But in the story is coming to life for the characters in the book. That's just so cool. It's like a domino. I just appreciated the way that it worked out. I liked all of the characters in this book. You really do get invested in them. Even the damn pigs and the bats, you really do, because they're kind of cute when they come out of the forest to eat your limbs, and you are offering, the small child is offering a limb because they want to help. It was just like so cool. And then there's this big thing that breathes fog over the whole town and will kill people if they don't believe, and it's complicated. I know I'm not explaining this right, but it's like where Stephen King creates his worlds. I think Sam has kind of done that with this book. But I kind of, at this point, since I didn't read the second book, I'm trying to get my hands on the second book, because there's stuff in the second book that I really think helps you understand what happens in this book. So read them all in order if you do decide to read them.
I can say I always read everything in order, but I
I
really,
know.
I love that sense of creativity, coming up with something out of nothing, like
Yeah.
it's just an idea. And I mean, who thinks of that? Like, pigs eating limbs. I mean, it's just so, I want to say creative, but like, it's just something that like you have to have the
Well,
brain
he
for.
was in the author's note afterwards, he explains about how he came upon this. He was playing a video game, and he had this thought, and he had to write it down as he's playing the video game. And this was like years ago, before he even wrote Edenville, that he came up with this idea. And then he made these stories happen. It's like, I have a thought 10 years ago. I'm not making it into a story now. Writers, man, they hold on to this stuff. Like, they have those boxes of the books that they've written that they felt never went anywhere, what are really precious gems that they could pull out and redo and make wonderful for us readers at any freaking point. I don't have that ability. This is why I don't write. I'm a reader. I appreciate them taking the time to do that and having the patience and the willpower in their brain to percolate and make these beautiful books even better.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm super impressed by that. I mean, I think you know that Sam was participated in my last auction. It was an online auction, and I think people could bid on a Zoom with him, and it was like one of our highest bidded things. He's just sounds like he's an amazing person.
He's a nice dude too. On top of it, I met him last year at Horror on the Hudson. He's got this beautiful smile, and he's like the nicest, like lightest, gentlest human being. And I follow him on Instagram, and he keeps posting pictures of his damn dog, who is the sweetest, cutest, little scruffiest thing in the entire world. And he's teaching it tricks, and he's just like loving this dog so much. I'm like, you are such a good human. But he's writing this super dark, crazy stuff. Like, so, he's got this wonderful persona, but his brain is screwed up. Like, he ain't right.
God, so otherwise we wouldn't have these books, right?
I know. I just adore him. I'm just
Someone's got to
so
do it.
thrilled with this book.
All right, you have time for one more.
Oh, one more. Okay, then I'm gonna give you The Hitchhikers. Again, most of these books aren't out yet. I think one or two of them are. So these are just things to put on your radar. This is called The Hitchhikers by Chevy Stevens. I don't know if you're familiar with her books. She wrote a million years ago, I think it was her debut, a book called Still Missing. And to this day, it's one of the most traumatizing books I've ever read. There you go. I didn't give me nightmares, but it screwed me up for about a week. I made my book club read it, and they said, never again, Jody. Because it was very screwed up. She's written a couple really good screwed up books since then. This one it goes pretty dark. It's about this couple who they got their RV and they're going across Canada. And when is it? It's 1976. So, there's no cell phones and all this stuff, which is a huge, important plot point. Without technology, you can do so much more
Right.
with horror books. They can't get out. They can't call for help. So I don't know why all books aren't written in that time period now. So Tom and Alice are taking the RV across Canada, and they come across a pair of teenage hitchhikers, and they kind of take them in and they feed them, and they're like, oh, we'll take you a little bit down the road. We're going in that direction anyways, kind of thing. And they think these kids are really great. They kind of like get along. They're like, oh, we'll go to the next town with you. I don't remember what happens. Something happens. The switch flips. The hitchhikers turn on them and hold them hostage. And now, yeah, you're finding out more about the hitchhikers' backgrounds. They're not really what you think they are. They're actually on the run from the law. And as they're traveling through Canada, the news and newspapers have their faces on it, and they're trying not to be seen. And so they have Alice, the main woman. They're using her to drive the RV, and she's pretty much held at gunpoint and put through hell through the whole entire thing. Can't really escape because they're just horrible. And like the kid the male that the hitchhiker, he's just seems like he wants to kill everybody that comes in his path, which isn't great. You kind of find out why. When you get their backstory, you can understand why they're the way they are. And the female hitchhiker is pregnant, which is a huge plot point because the woman that's driving the RV, Alice, can't get pregnant. So there's a bond there, but there's a lot of harshness going on between the two of them. So it's a story of their journey, and the end is fitting to the story. It's a typical hitchhiker story. Bad things happen. Just really, really edge of your seat. It's not horror. It's a thriller. It's suspense. It's heavy suspense. Couldn't put it down. She writes a great book. She really does. It disturbs you, leaves you unnerved. Go out and read it for a good time.
So I know you love horror. We just have another minute, but like, do you ever read something as almost like a palate cleanser, just so like you can get the horror out for a little bit and
cozy mysteries?
Cozy
I swear to God, I don't know what's wrong with me. There was a cozy mystery by Olivia Blake at Death's Door, whatever it's called. She wrote it last year. She just sent me a copy of the follow-up book for that, and I'm like so excited to read it, but I'm waiting till like be in the right headspace for it to appreciate it. They're just like, sweet, you've got these ghosts and they're finding their way around and they're solving crimes and it's adorable and there's like death, but there's no blood. It's just the body on the floor. I like that kind of stuff, but I have to have the humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to, I'm not going to go and read a romance novel as a palate cleanser because that'll never happen. You think, I don't know, it's not going to happen. Cozy mysteries seem to be my palate cleanser.
Okay. Well, we all need them. I appreciate that. Jody, thanks again. This is awesome. I always enjoy chatting with you. And I'll send everybody the list. And I will see you next month, as well as everybody that's been here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone.